less days off, more time on the snow, beating my competitors. Having another option to be doing what we love and to continue to race, it just keeps the sport open and keeps you in it. Pretty tough sport. Using my DNA vibe has allowed me to train harder, longer.
For the best deal on the best shed or garage, visit toughshed.com.
In general, ski racing is a pretty tough sport. Using my DNA vibe has allowed me to train harder, longer, and recover faster. Less days off, more time on the snow, beating my competitors. Having another option to be doing what we love and to continue to race, it just keeps the sport open and keeps you in it.
A car like this shouldn't exist. Something this big, this luxurious, shouldn't move like a Mazda. And yet, it does.
Oh my God, it sounds epic as well. This car is an SUV with bragging rights.
The three-row Mazda CX-90.
Introducing the first ever Mazda CX-50.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. What was this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2,
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
It might be the music still on
The best nights start with Jägermeister.
on the recorder. Check. Yeah, it's looking like the music on the stream still. Okay, check. Hello. There we are. This is mic 1. Check.
car like
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
It would take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
What a moment!
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
It would take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
What a moment!
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
close those. I'm just testing the start switch, all right? Ready on blue? Cadence.
Check, check, check.
Clear. Making sure that everything works out here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Pro Ski Tour. Bear Valley, up Highway 4 in the Gold Country. It dead ends. They close the pass up and over into the east side, and the snow is here. The racers are here. This is Kevin Clark. I'm Uncle Lee. I don't know about you, buddy, but I'm always fired up to be by your side.
Let me tell you, we've been here since Monday. This race department and the groomers and the whole staff here has just been right behind getting this hill prepped. It's an unbelievable hill, super steep, 3 jumps. We put about 50,000 gallons worth of water on the course because there's so much new soft snow here to bring that surface in, so it's good and grippy. It's really nice jumps with some knuckles, so it's a nice smooth landing. Qualifying about to get underway. It's going to be 10:15. Right now we're going to talk about what happened at our last race.
Ooh, Aspen, Colorado. It was a good time. We'll start with the ladies because ladies first. It was Erin Milzinski from Canada picking up right where she left off last year. She had some competition in the name of Caitlin Harsh. Sarah Rask came not out of nowhere, but she showed up and she learned the format. And in the second race on the second day, she actually beat Milzinski. So she's got some competition. However, Sarah's not going to be here. We do have a lady by the name of Michelle Morzinski, local gal, who she earned her stripes here last year. She took a digger, but she got back up. We'll see what her lessons were learned. But a field of 9 ladies followed by 18 men. On the men's side of things, what happened back in Aspen?
So a new guy, young rookie on tour. It was great to see somebody new join the tour and show the rest of the guys the veterans how it's done. Christian Sovek from Norway leads the tour right now with 65 points, and was Mike Lankeny, the Joker, the veteran, been with us since 2017. He was number 1 on Sunday. Then there's Philippe Forchek. Forchek was, I think, our fastest qualifier.
Yep.
He was in line to be on that top step of the podium, but a drastic mistake, and that slowed his progress. Simone Breitfuss-Keimelander, your defending champion, 4th in the overall standings. So he'd like to improve. He likes the steeps, and this place has got the steeps. 20 gates today, giant slalom qualifier. So.
And I understand it is something a little different. We're doing an open qualifying. Explain that to us.
Boy, that's going to be interesting. So we have 8 women and 16 men. Now, if any of the ladies' times puts them in the bracket, the qualifying bracket, they'll be able to race the men.
So what you're telling me is there's 16 qualifying spots with a total of, say, 24, 25
Correct.
Qualifying athletes going forth. We're taking the 16 top fastest times.
Correct.
Okay.
So, women mixed in. Will Erin Milzinski be quick enough to find her way into the field, or any of the other women athletes? This is a new twist. First time we've ever done this. That's a whole team of those gals of Sports Insurance, one of our great sponsors, Sports Insurance.
Yep.
Here with us today. Let's talk about our sponsors, Uncle Lee.
Well, I've been talking to Chris with Mazda. They brought 4 vehicles up here, the CX-50, the CX-90, and the CX-5, I think, and they're up here. So you folks that are presently hearing this over the audio at Bear Valley, feel free to find Chris. He's signing autographs and giving out these cool function wear sustainable outdoor goggle covers, and I'll be passing some of those out as well. So Mazda, cool. One of our top tier sponsors, along with CB Sports. If you recall back in the 60s and 70s, CB Vaughn, CB Sports, that was the jacket. That was the equipment that you wanted to have, and it ran strong through the 80s and 90s. Kind of disappeared for a bit, but there's a great rebirth. You're going to see a whole bunch of CB Sports stuff on the internet with the feed, and you folks live. You're going to see all the race staff all dialed in. The sponsored folks down below in the lodge wearing the CB stuff. And we want to thank Chris Neary and his staff, his team, for making it all come together. How about Jägermeister, brother?
Oh, Jägermeister, our new shot drink for the tour. We had some Jägermeister last night at our opening party down at the lodge. A great opening introduction to the pros and talk about the format, and just a great time down there with our friends from Jägermeister. Celsius.
Oh, boy.
Celsius folks are here, so grab yourself a Celsius. We'll have plenty of samples down around the base area.
Also, if you win this event, you walk away with a Seiko watch, and the timepiece has been around since the 1800s. They know how to do it, and I think Milzinski has enough to cover both wrists now. She's done a great job the last couple of years. We'll see if she earns another one, but thank you, Seiko.
And, of course, our friends from DNA Vibe, been with us since the beginning. It's a great way to heal sore muscles with infrared and a heat and pulsating action. So check out DNA Vibe online.
Yeah, last year you had that thing on when we were announcing, and you were
I
just
know.
getting shocked, and things were working well.
Well, I had my knee surgery, so it
Yeah.
helped me recover. That's DNA Vibe.
It does. And, of course, Bear Valley is our host mountain for this event. Had a chance to talk to Tim Cohey, Brad down below, a lot of the mountain folks last night, Josh and Mr. The list goes on. So many names I can't remember, but they've done a bang-up job. The Power of Four that we'll talk about a little later on. 4 resorts have come together to form the California Mountain Resort Company, and we'll talk about that throughout the day. But right now, Kev, let's take a little breather, make sure our cameras are all set. We're getting the athletes up to the top. We got a full day of talking. For you folks that are hearing this again live at Bear Valley, you can tell your friends, your families, and your loved one via your cell phones and your social media. They can watch this live at home today on their computers. If their computer's linked to their TVs, awesome. That technology exists. Go to cbsport.com. That is not CBS Sports. It's CB, as in the clothing, sport.com. Or the World Pro Ski Tour Facebook page. It's on there as well. So Facebook and cbsports.com. You can watch this action live, or if you're just skiing around, stop, grab your friends, family, loved one, and watch the event. It's going to be a good one, Kev.
Official start time, 10:15, so join us here at Bear Valley.
A car like this shouldn't exist. Something this big, this luxurious, shouldn't move like a Mazda. And yet, it does.
Oh my God, it sounds epic as well. This car is an SUV with bragging rights.
The three-row Mazda CX-90.
Introducing the first ever Mazda CX-50.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
It will take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2,
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
what a moment!
For the best deal on the best shed or garage, visit toughshed.com.
In general, ski racing is a pretty tough sport.
Racers ready?
Using my DNA Vibe has allowed me to train harder, longer, and recover faster. Less days off, more time on the snow, beating my competitors. Having another option to be doing what we love and to continue to race, it just keeps the sport open and keeps you in it.
For more than half a century, Seiko has been supporting athletes in their efforts to be the best. Now, we want to bring this reliable technology to anyone striving for a goal. Because we understand, a split second can change everything. Keep going forward. Prospects.
legendary. Big mountain, big terrain. Famous for deep snow. A storied past. Mountain greatness without the hassles. It's Tahoe without the Tahoe. Get there on scenic Highway 4. Oh yeah, the bear is back. Visit bearvalley.com.
All right, welcome back to Bear Valley Resort. We're about to get underway with qualifying. Official start time 10:15. I'm Kevin Clark. My good buddy Uncle Lee alongside, buddy. Good to be here back at Bear Valley. Second time at Bear Valley with the World Pro Ski Tour.
The snow walls, when we were driving in yesterday and this morning, probably 1/3 of what they were last year, and what a monumental season it was last year. And conditions strikingly different this year than last year. Obviously not as much snow, but right now, no wind, which is a beautiful thing, right, Kev?
Nice and calm. We received, about 14 inches of snow, I believe it was Wednesday night. So we had a lot of work to do. We've been out watering the hill because they've received so much new snow here over the last couple of weeks that you could just stick a bamboo pole in and we'll get down 4 feet. So Kyle Rasmussen of World Cup fame, American U.S. ski team, winning Vangen. Kyle was with us last year, too. He was out there. We put 80,000 gallons of water into this Sierra. Beautiful snow to harden it right up. Not quite as radical as it was last year, but the surface is unbelievable.
What I like about that is the first call, you said we put about 50,000, and then we put about 80,000. By Sunday, we're going to have 1 million gallons of water.
Yeah, 1 million.
We caught a fish this big. Yeah, but we talked to the starters and the course sitters. I know you've been here since Monday. Talk to us about the number of gates on the course, the jumps, and the steepness of this course, and how arduous that will be for the competitors.
So it immediately dumps out on a very steep pitch. It's so steep that you have to wear crampons out there if you're on your ski boots to try to, the television guy sets up out front there. So up and down the face of that pitch, you can see it right now on the screen. Doesn't look as steep as it really is. TV never does it justice. Looks like a little wind up there, though, Uncle Lee.
We talked, I just jinxed it. I mentioned wind, and there it is.
So we've got, I believe it's 7 gates to the first jump, 6 gates to the second jump. And looking up the shot there, that's the lip of the second jump. You can barely see it there. I stood up there yesterday, and it looks like you're going to jump into the base lodge from there. It just drops away so radically. And then the bottom bump, mellow and mild, and they'll sprint to the finish line. Qualifying, we ski against the clock. So the fastest time on the first run will get you into the field. With the women, it'll be the fastest 2 on each course, get into the qualifying rounds. The men, 4 off of each course, developing a round of 16, women with a round of 8. And as we talked about earlier, we're doing an open today. So the women will be racing only tomorrow. Today is qualifying for the men and women. The men will have the GS after. Tomorrow will be a women's slalom. But today, if the women ski fast enough to make that top 16, they will get in the field with the men. So that'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out.
I'm saying it right now. When the women ski as fast as the men, I'm feeling it. These ladies, they are of world caliber speed, and we're gonna mix them in with the men. I'm thinking 3 ladies are gonna make it in. That's my prediction. I'm thinking that. I'm going out on a limb. Yep, I know. I got my money on Milzinski as usual. She's a dedicated racehorse. The likes of Caitlin Harsh is really coming into her own as well, understanding this format. And what I love about this layout here, we're on Feather Duster. If you folks watching online, Feather Duster goes way back to the early 70s where Spider Savage, Jean-Claude Keeley, those legendary type of names raced on this very course. And for a few decades, the World Pro Ski Tour has not come back here. Last year was the rebirth, and we're back again, 2024, to get her done.
I love the old pictures from that event. And when I first walked into Base Lodge, they were gone. And I'm walking down the hallway going, where are all those great pictures? Well, they built this incredible new bar.
Yeah, that is nice.
Maury's. So after Kyle Rasmussen's grandfather, one of the founders here. So now you can go into the Maury's, all those great pictures, the celebrity pictures, Clint Eastwood, James Brolin, Robert Conrad, all in a group, hanging out with pro racers.
Yeah, Lloyd Bridges before Dumb and Dumber, looking in character there. So a lot of history here. And the beauty of this particular race hill is it's steep, it's got some undulations, it's got jumps, but it's lined by trees. So trees, if you know anything about skiing, they offer light. So they're going to offer some good perspective even when the clouds and what we have is gray bird. The definition is not great. Our course workers have done the the dye job around the gates to offer up some more definition. So big props and big thanks to the race service crew.
Yeah, you see the lines that are drawn just underneath the bump, so you have some idea where their landing is. A little bit flat light, a little bit of breeze coming over the back side of the mountain as we get ready for qualifying here. So many sponsors to thank. On the banners, you see the Gorsuch insert. It's fun, super fun hanging out with the Gorsuch when we were back in Aspen. So there are. So today's bib sponsor for the event is Mazda. So the bib sponsor will be Mazda. Check out the Mazda automobiles down the bottom, the CX-15, CX-90. Say hello to Chris, from Mazda. Tell you all about these fantastic new cars. Pretty cool. You were talking about earlier. A lot of the athletes were given Mazdas to drive up here from the Bay Area when they flew in. So
that's nice.
That's really cool.
I did not see mine.
Yeah.
I did not get the memo. Yep. And today's race, the Far West Pro Open, a giant slalom. Again, Mazda will be on the bibs. We want to thank Hayden Scott. That's right, Hayden and his entire team. We'll get into the details of who they are, but it takes an army out here to paint lines that straight, right there.
I saw that.
Yep. Insert crow. That's whenever you have a bird flying over your course, that is good luck. And did you know that crows travel in pairs for life?
Crow on course.
That's it. It's good. A murder of crows out here today.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Such a beautiful resort. It's so far up that mountain. It's pretty cool coming up here. You're down to about 1,000 feet. There's no snow, and as you get higher and higher, the snowbanks build and build. And like you said, last year was nuts. They were over 600 inches here.
Yeah, I went over Ebbets Pass, which is about 15 miles to the east of where this resort road ends, and it's upwards of over 8,000 feet high. Ebbets Pass is. I was on it in July, right when they opened it, and the snowbanks were still 12 feet tall on the 4th of July. It was unbelievable how much snow was here last year. This is back to an average year. We're expecting the temperatures. I talked to Coop Cooper, who is working for the California Mountain Resort Company, and he's the head of communications. He's really into the details of the weather. He sends something to all 4 mountains that we'll talk about later on, and he tells us exactly what's coming in per hour. So our schedule of weather today, it's coming in. The wind is going to slightly pick up, gusts of 30 miles an hour by around the 1 or 2 o'clock hour, with snow picking up as well. And so we can't do a thing about the weather, but we can start the racing when we're good and ready. Again, Kevin Clark alongside Uncle Lee. God bless America, and happy President's Day to you for all of our presidents did to make this country what it is. Red, white, and blue for you and me. We'll be back in just a minute with the start of the Far West Pro Open here at Bear Valley. All right, it's time for the Forerunners to do their thing. The Forerunners kind of set the pace for everything, make sure the cameras are working, timing's working, everybody else is working, we're working. And it's Emma Shockey and Nathan Peterson. Emma's over on the right-hand side, the red course. Over on the blue course, that's Nathan Peterson. They're going to lay the law of the land down, Clarky.
So you get some idea how quickly it drops off there. Watch the tip stick out over the edge of the jump there, or the start platform. If you have the opportunity, you're skiing today, you got to get up and check out the start because it's so dynamic, so exciting. The lights are going to go from yellow to green. Doors open up, and the lights go green, and out on track they go. So the purpose of the Forerunners is to check our timing, so when the doors open, the clocks start. When they cross the finish line, at the bottom, they will stop the clock, and that will give us the time. So we'll be checking the timing. Over the first jump they go. So snow is super firm out there with all the water we've injected into it over the last several days. Big cheers from the crowd. Is Emma and
Nathan
make their way to the final jump. Little mellow jump down here as we pass the timing building. Makes it to the knuckle, we call it, the landing area of the jump. Across the line they will go.
Nice job, Nathan, on the left, rocking the POC helmet, POC kit, USA proud Kappa gear there by Emma Shockey. Well done, Emma.
So we didn't see a stop on the red course, is why we run our Forerunners. Time over on the blue course was at 36.84. So again, we want to check the timing, make sure everything is going. We did not get a stop when they crossed that finish line, so we'll have to check that. As we line up the athletes, ladies will go first. It's Erin Milzinski and Caitlin Harsh. Tuva Norby, Hannah Ernstein.
Yeah, let's set the stage for race number one. They're getting things. So Milzinski's going to step out of the gate for a second, so stand by. You can see the wind is blowing, wind is moving up top. That guy in the center, that is Robbie Huntoon. He has been brought in from the Tahoe area to fulfill some camera operating duties. We'll talk more about him in a bit, but he's going to keep the focus in. He gets a nice lock shot on each one of the athletes. And we want to thank all the camera guys that are standing in position, doing the due diligence all weekend long. Thanks, boys. But Caitlin Harsh had an opportunity to spend time with her parents. Kev, they gave me a ride to the Aspen airport, only for me to be denied by the rental car agency, and I had to hitchhike back to my hotel.
You were trying to get a car?
I was trying to get a car, and I got denied.
Oh, no.
But I want to thank her parents. This is Caitlin Kendall Harsh, born on New Year's Day, 2001. She's on the left-hand side, had great success. Runner-up there in Aspen, and she's really figuring out this game. She's got a smile on her face all the time. Talk to me about Erin Milzinski over on the red course, Clarky.
Milzinski, your defending champion, with 70 points leading the tour so far this year. Sarah Rask was not here today. It's in second, and then it was Caitlin Harsh with 53 points. So Milzinski has just been so dominant on the women's tour, but like you said earlier, she's had some competition. Sarah Rask was putting the pressure on her and made it to the #1 spot in our second day of racing for the ladies in Aspen.
You know, I'll say Milzinski had an uncharacteristic fall as well that opened the door for Rask that gave Rask a bigger advantage. So it just shows that Milzinski is in fact human. You know, she was auto-mechanical last year, taking the victory over everything. I think she was beat by Paula Moltzen in Taos. That was the only defeat she had, but overall tour victor. And again, for you folks watching at home, good to have you. For you folks here at Bear Valley, happy President's Weekend. This is time to get things going. We got 2 days full of activity. This is qualifying. Again, break down how qualifying works.
So, when the doors open up, the clock will start, as opposed to when we do elimination rounds. It's all done at the finish. So, when the clock starts, you got to be right at the gates as soon as that light goes green, because the clock will start. It's not like a wand in traditional skiing. When you hit the wand, the clock starts. So they'll both take a run on this course in the first round, and then we'll take our fastest 2 ladies off each course in this first round. Down on track they go. Let's see what the surface ski's like today. Milzinski and Harsh coming at you. Milzinski on the red course side. Clean over the jumps, landing in what we call the other side of the knuckle, staying high on line. Milzinski making it look easy, out in front of Harsh by about half a gate. But right now, we're not skiing head-to-head. We're skiing for the best times to build our ladder. This is qualifying for the women here. And the men will go after the first round. Across the line we go. Let's take a look at the time. Milzinski with a 28.29. Harsh with a 29.04. There's our first 2 times of the day, Uncle Lee.
There you go. Barrett Stein down below, our course director, doing a great job. Race director making sure that he's hearing how it all is all laid out. So Milzinski just laying the law of the land, getting nice and low, lean and mean. And when you go off the airs, you want to keep your skis out of the air as long as possible. The skis work better and faster on the snow. We'll talk about that throughout the weekend.
Barrett Stein, your course setter, tournament director, and doer of all things pro ski racing, consulting with the girls, wanting to know how the course runs. He does an incredible job along with the rest of the team. John Jacobs and David McVicker and John there at the bottom bump. Keep an eye on things.
Let's set
reliable racing.
Let's set the stage. This is Hedda Bernstein on the left-hand side, blue course. Tuva Norby from Norway on the red course, coming at you.
So Tuve, a former tour champion. Again, we're skiing against the clock in the elimination rounds, which will take place this afternoon. We will remove that start from the top, and it will be done at the bottom. Is on the red course, touch it down. Bernstein skiing solid and clean as they head for the finish line.
Yeah, Norby across the finish line first by a gate and some. What do you see on the red course and the blue course, Kev?
Let's see. Tova with a 29.66, 29.6 seat, and Hedda with a time of 30.96.
Hedda Bernstein, Norway, one bad ASS ripper. We'll talk a lot about her from Norway. She loves telemark skiing, alpine skiing, and freestyle. And you can see right here, it is steep. You can see that top turn on the left-hand side, skidding out just a bit, just trying to keep those skis underneath her. Again, this is just time trials. Here we go with the next duel, Tegan Wold and Lucia Bailey.
We're good.
Don't know much about Bailey. Wold will be over on the red course side. You can really see the high edge angle these guys are having to run. That gives you some indication how steep it is. The higher that ski gets up on edge, the more radius you're putting into that arc, and let's see what these two have.
Yeah, Bailey, Calgary born and U.S. or under 18 national champ back in 2016. Loves herself some Bodie Miller and Michaela Schifrin.
Okay, you can hear Chef Kevin Clyde. Ski Tour starts the cadence. The lights will go from yellow to green, and then it will come out on track. And see what kind of times these two will post. Bailey over on the blue course side, Wold on the red. Wold a little bit out in front here, but again, we're not racing each other, but you've got to be on it when the doors open up because the clock starts immediately. Be able to handle that pitch, man. When you stand up there and watch that pitch, it just drops away so hard. Underneath it last year, they had trouble.
Yeah, and you know what's different about this for Lucia Bailey? She's not done a World Pro Ski Tour before, so she is getting a feel for how it is to go head-to-head. Albeit, this is just for time, but in no other competition presently do you have head-to-head for qualifying. Typically, it's one at a time. Kevin, show us some times.
So Bailey with a time of 30.61, 30.61. So we got to go to the tape on this. For some reason, we didn't get the time to appear on the screen. But
yeah, beautiful thing. There's backup timing as well, so we'll get the official time in just a bit as we set the stage back up top. Michaela O'Brien from Canada with Henrietta Ressen, newcomer from Norway, just graduated from Westminster College, and she is rooming with another fellow Norwegian, Joachim, who we'll talk about a little bit later.
So if you want to watch the numbers come up, you can go to live-timing.com. So livetiming.com, you'll be able to see the results from qualifying as we post the time. So right now, we take the fastest two off of each course, each run. It's Milzinski with a 28.29 in the red fastest, and it's Tuva Norby waiting for Tegan's time to post up here. And then it's Caitlin Harsh, number one on the blue course, with a 29.04. And Hedda with a 30.96, and Bailey just crossed the finish line with a 30.61.
Yeah, so Michaela O'Brien on the red course, you see, name put up by her chest there, second year of the tour, Dartmouth grad from Tromblont, Montreal, Canada. She's on case, a little tough start there. And Ressen from Norway, first timer to the Pro Tour. She's got her feet underneath her. Let's see what she has.
So down the pitch, big high edge angle, trying to get set up to go over the jump, to have that turn shape early at the top of the turn. Good job by both these athletes. Out in front of the blue course, it's Rensen, the Norwegian, looking clean and smooth. A little bit twisted off the jump there, but staying on line. A little bit of a stivet to get the skis in the right arc before you set the pressure on it across the finish line on the blue course.
Ooh, Henriette Rissen, she really made time on that blue course. Had a little sideways toss there off one of the airs, but putting it down. What are the times you see?
So that gets her the number 2 spot here in qualifying on the blue course side with a 30.28. Caitlin was fastest. And then O'Brien.
And we'll take a small break before we get Michelle Morzinski, local girl out of Murphy's, coming out of the gate for her solo run. We'll take a break and be right back at you here at Bear Valley for the World Pro Ski Tour. Stop 2 of 3.
So we need so you had our finish beam of the red course go out. Ryan will need to go back to the start. Apologize for that. Beam has fallen out of line. Gonna get that line back up and run the last solo racer. So once again, we need Wold and O'Brien to go back to the top. Red course side.
A car like this shouldn't exist. Something this big, this luxurious, shouldn't move like a Mazda. And yet, it does.
Oh my God, it sounds epic as well. This car is an SUV with bragging rights.
The three-row Mazda CX-90.
Introducing the first ever Mazda CX-50.
Legendary. Big mountain, big terrain. Famous for deep snow. A storied past. Mountain greatness without the hassle. It's Tahoe without the Tahoe. Get there on scenic Highway 4. Oh yeah, the bear is back. Visit bearvalley.com.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
best deal on the best shed or garage, visit toughshed.com.
In general, ski racing is a pretty tough sport.
Racers ready?
Using my DNA vibe has allowed me to train harder, longer, and recover faster. Less days off, more time on the snow, beating my competitors. Having another option to be doing what we love and to continue to race, it just keeps the sport open and keeps you in it.
All right, welcome back. Sorry for the delay. We had a banner that was on the fence line. It was kind of coming loose and it was hitting the beam, so it was knocking it out of line. So again, we had to send Tegan Wold and Michaela O'Brien back up because that beam getting knocked out of line did not give us a time on those two athletes. So we'll run them again, and then Michelle Rosinski will be your final.
Mushla is her nickname, and she's from these parts. Dad, Lucas, the Polish sensation, is rooting the 22-year-old out of Murphy's on. She learned a good deal of understanding here last year. She had a crash that took her into the netting, but she got right back up, got on that horse, and she's doing right nice right now, Kev.
So into the second jump she goes. Ooh, landing on that knuckle. Need a little bit more speed there. It's a pretty harsh little shot she took there over the bottom jump. Clean and smooth. Heads for the finish line. We'll see what we got for a time on the red course. So, 34.54.
Taking it relatively conservative, flat, light. She's deep, breathing deep. She puts her hands up because she knows that's a personal victory, making it down this steep course. And everyone else smiling and laughing.
Let me tell you, the track is some kind of firm up there. And so we have Tegan Wold and Michaela O'Brien on their way back to the top. We'll run those two ladies. So right now it's Erin Bolzinski with a 28.29 and Tuva Norbe with a 29.66, your top two. So we qualify, a field for a round of 8. So the fastest two on each course in each run will get you into that field. Over on the blue side, it's Caitlin Harsh with a 29.04. And then it was Henrietta Reason with a 30.28. So those two are in the field. And we'll go back, send it back to the top. But before we do that, we'll have two more ladies to run. And then we'll move on to the men with their first round of qualifying.
Yeah, and those ladies, both Tegan and Michaela, will go on to the red course individually. That way they'll get their red course time set and out of the way. Then they'll head back up top with the rest of the ladies and do it all over again after we do round 1 of the men. Again, where can people find this live timing, brother?
At livetiming.com. Live-timing.com. Check out all the ski racing all across the country on live timing. But today we got qualifying up on live timing. Oh, look at that. It's on the screen right now.
Bob,
Bob,
power of technology.
Our timer is showing us what we're seeing on live timing. So check it out. Sure, a lot of ski racing fans around the country right now watching the World Pro Ski Tour on live timing. Unfortunately, we can't do the elimination rounds on live timing yet, but you can watch the quali today as we wait for those two athletes to get back to the top as we watch the snow start to come in.
Yeah,
banners across that jump.
Coop Cooper was absolutely spot on with his analysis. He said around 11 o'clock, anticipate the first set of flurries, and it's going to come in and stay most of the day into the evening. A little bit of a reprieve tomorrow, but around 2 and 3 tomorrow, it's going to get pretty violent, 2 to 3 inches of snow an hour. So take that into consideration as to if you have to go down the mountain, plan that accordingly. But we are ready to rock and roll, loaded up top. Who do we got?
Michaela O'Brien, the Canadian.
Don't you know?
Give you her opportunity to see if she can better either Mazinski, the other Canadian, in the number 1 spot with a 28.29. Tuva Norbe is a 29.66 behind Erin. So that's the time you need to beat if you want to be in the Fast Four here in the first round. Building a field of 8 athletes. 2 and 2 off each course, each run. Same for the men. Men, we qualify 16. Here we go with O'Brien.
O'Brien is nickname is Mick. Did you know that she is also a world-class kickball competitor?
Okay.
And as we were talking last night in the bar versus some Jägermeisters, Kev, you were always last picked on the playground for kickball. Is that true?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, you
a
only
lot
went
of
to-
other sports.
You
but
only went to
not
school with
kickball.
four boys, so it's a small school. So you had a 25% chance to be picked last.
I was really good at dodgeball.
Yes.
Dodging. I was a good dodger.
A good dodger. That's it. His name's Kevin Clark. He's been doing the Pro Tour thing since way back in the 80s, I think, if not the 70s.
That's
And
right.
you got so much knowledge and history. It's a pleasure to be by your side. And right now, up at the start gate for any sort of event, it's a matter of how you calm your nerves. You take the deep breath. You let the and she slams right into that gate.
So that was an example of how to not do it. Unfortunately, you try to get your timing down. This is new for her. So to get that timing just right so you meet the doors when they open is so key. We'll watch Michael Ankeny show you how to do that. He'll be first up for the men on the blue course side. As we watch O'Brien here, unfortunately, we had to give her a rerun with the wind whipping the banner around and upsetting the timing beam. So another shot at the course as she touches down off the bottom bump, heads for the finish line. Let's see what O'Brien comes across the line with a 31.83, 31.83 for O'Brien.
There you go, Michaela. That one's going to be in the record books. Coming from Tremblant, where they had a very successful World Cup this year. Ladies World Cup for the first time in ages, right after the Killington event. And that is part of Quebec, Canada's turf over there. So nice job, Michaela. Up top, it's going to be Tegan Wold's opportunity to do it again. A rookie on the tour. She competed in Aspen, gained a little valuable knowledge. She's a slalom specialist, graduated from Montana State, and right now here she goes for her rerun.
So Wold comes out on track, times that nicely. Good high edge angle, top of the turn. We say you have to get the turn started early so you stay on line, because you get off line and you scrub all the speed over the first jump. Wold looking good, getting a little bit of chatter out of the skis, dropping down over that pitch. It's so steep when you come over those jumps. Into jump number 2 she goes. Clears the knuckle, clean turns, get to the outside, and good high edge angle. Skis razor sharp as she heads for the finish line. Across the line she will go. Tegan Wold with a time of 29.92, 29.92, third quick.
That's nice. Tegan Wold, that was a great opportunity for you right there to put down the third fastest time thus far. Way to put the hammer down right behind Milzinski and Caitlin Harsh, it looks like.
So that completes the first run of qualifying. Your fastest two make the field on each course and each run. So it was Milzinski and Norby, 28.29 for Milzinski, the fastest time on the hill and on the red course side. Norby with a 29.66, and then it was Caitlin Harsh over on the blue side with a 29.04, just narrowly missing out, jumping to the 28s. And then it was Reason with a 30.28. So those two are into field. They'll go back and switch courses. Now we're going to go to the men, Uncle Lee.
We certainly are. Before we do that, we're going to take a small break. Back here to Bear Valley, stop number 2 of the World Pro Ski Tour. Happy President's Weekend. They're in the gates. It's time for the dudes. They're going to go side by each, but it's going to be individual time. Right, Kevin?
So this is super cool. This is your champions from day 1 and day 2 from our opening race at Aspen. Sovik over the red course side, won day 1 on Saturday. Then it was Michael Ankeny, the veteran. So rookie and a veteran.
What a novelty. And the wind is picking up. The snow is going to increase throughout the course of the day. So conditions are getting a little more challenging. But Sovik on the right-hand side, Norway, USA, Ankeny on the left-hand side.
So coming out about dead even, Ankeny a little bit twisted there. A lot of pressure on the tail of the ski as he starts to pull away over Sovik down the blue course side. Ankeny really clean, keeping the pressure on that outside ski all the way around the turn, staying on line. But here comes Sovik right alongside Ankeny. As I was talking about Ankeny, pulled right back into the picture. At the bottom bump, it's going to be Ankeny out in front now, going to cross the line first, just a little bit ahead of Sovik. Ankeny's time, a 27.22, and you're not going to believe this, Christian Sovik with a 27.22.
Oh, come now. Are you seeing double vision? That is even money? Okay, so if that's any indication of how good these guys are, because they took 1 and 1 in the 2 races in Aspen, we could see them in the finals again, but that's a long ways away today. But even money, 27.22 by Sovik and Ankeny.
So we take the fast 4 off of each course, each run. So there's your fastest times as we look at Simone Breitfuss Kamelander moving in behind the start doors on blue course side is Philippe Forchek from the Czech Republic. Uncle Lee?
Yep, love both these guys. They've got good gumption, right? They've got great focus. Simon Breitfuss Kammerlander had a chance to talk to him throughout the week. He was up in Palisades, Tahoe, getting some training on the World Cup course coming there next week. Philippe Forchek out of Czechia, or formerly the Czech Republic, from Pilsen, the 26-year-old, and he's rocking and rolling on the red course, just about a half a gate ahead of Kammerlander right now.
Wow, it's unlike to get Kammerlander out of the start. So Kammerlander working on the blue course side. Likes it steeper. Wasn't happy with results in Aspen, but right now it's all Forchek. It was super quick in qualifying. I believe he won qualifying at Aspen as we watch him come across to the finish line. Pretty close at the end. Going to be Forchek crossing the line first. His time at 26.85. 26.85.
Woo!
Wow,
lightning quick.
8.5. And then there's Simone Breitfuss Kamelander. His time at 27.11. 27.11, just a skosh quicker than Michael Ankeny on that blue course side. So there's Forchek, your fastest. Sovik, second on the red.
Both those,
go ahead.
Yeah, both those guys Olympians for their respective countries. And we move on to Ketterer, who will be on the red course, and Roman Frost, it looks like, on the blue course. So Ketterer, second in the overall tour standings previously, and this married to Resi Stiegler. He's 30 years young, the German, and he'll go up against fellow German Roman Frost, the 24-year-old. Deep breaths up top.
So the rookie on the blue side, David Ketterer. If you see the poster in the wall for the race, David is the featured shot by Lisa Mutz on that poster.
Because he won both events last year here.
Yeah, he was the man. Let's see what he's got here today. First round of qualifying for the men here at Bear Valley. Over the jumps they go, getting skis back down to the snow as quick as possible. Keep that pressure on the ski to keep the turn high and fast. Ooh, a little bit of a bobble by Ketterer, but he stays out in front. Ketterer and a Frost. 2 Germans coming off the next jump.
Oh,
a little bit twisted.
Yeah, he was all sideways right there, and it slowed his time down. And what do you see on the clock?
You see 27.48 for Roman Frost, 27.48, and Ketterer with a 27.38.
All right.
So Ketterer, 27.38, makes him third quick out of those 3 pair. Frost with a 27.48 will be third on the blue course side. So,
again, if you're just joining us, this is only qualifying. This is not head-to-head racing as we will have later in the day. Right now, each one of these athletes gets a go on each one of the courses. So right now, this is round number 1 of qualifying for the men. And the ladies are working their way back up top. Let's set the stage. The Swiss, Luc Chabel. He is on the blue course. The 24-year-old and 23-year-old, and Kiefer Christensen on the right-hand side coming down the red course.
So as we mentioned before, once that door opens, the clock starts. If you're not moving when those doors open, you're losing time. Looks like a little bit happened up there on the red course side for Christensen. Left standing there is, look, the Swiss out in front. looking clean and smooth. Nice touchdown there, just like butter. He touched down, it just skis didn't bounce at all. That's what you want. Get that ski back to the snow. You don't want it bouncing. Can't keep contact. Contact is so important to make the skis fast across the line they go. Chabot with a time of 27.81. 27.81.
1.8.
Excuse me, 1.8. 27.18. Look, and for Kiefer Christensen, his time of 27.17.
27.17. So the I-beam kicks off right when you get out of the start gate. They're racing next to each other, but for individual times. So we are ready for the next battle up top of individuality. Jeremy Lagier from France on the red course, and Miha Kunjar from Slovenia on the blue course.
All right, clean and smooth at the top. Into the jump they go. Let's see if they clear that knuckle. Let's see some of these guys landing on top of that little roll as he clear the jump there. We call it a knuckle, and that's a shocker if you don't get to the back side of it. Nicely done there. A little bit of chatter down low, a little bit late there. Miha out in front. Strong first run for Miha. Across the line he goes. His time at 28.52. 28.52. And for Jeremy, 27.73. 27.73.
27.73 for Jeremy. Solid as can be as usual. And Miha, way to put the hammer down on the blue course, 28.52. So Miha, I had a conversation with him. He's coaching in Killington. He's not had as much training as he'd like, but we'll see what happens when he gets on the red course when they swap it around. Back up top we go. Max Axelrod and Nick Cohey. Nick is going to be on the red course where Mr. Max Axelrod will be on the blue course. The name Nick Cohey probably sounds familiar. His father, Tim, is helping run this place. The top dog, and he gets an interesting start on the red course. Gets his arm kind of stuck behind him was Nick. Axelrod over on the blue course, lighting things up.
So, over the jump they go. Cohey touches down out in front. A little bit of chatter, a little bit of snow spraying off the top of the middle of the turn there. Doing a good job getting back online. Over the second jump he goes. Clean and smooth on his landings. Cohey, oh, on his hip he goes. Oh, Axelrod, that was a hipper.
Yeah.
Pop back up.
Nice save.
Cohey at the finish line. Across the line goes Nick Cohey with a 28.40. 28.40.
Cohey doing it for Mac, his son, down below, the big Mac attack. And his mom's in the house, dad's in the house, wife and Wiley at home. Nice job, Nick. And Axelrod, the wild child, making it across. Good stuff, guys. 30.01 and Cohey, 28.40.
So not quick enough for either of those two to make the Fast Four on their respective courses here in the first round of qualifying. You get 2 runs to get into the field.
Well, we got Nico Monfort. That's right, Nico Suave. Squaw Valley, Palisades, Tahoe guy. Raced for UNR at 29 years of age. He's ready to light things up on the red course. And newcomer to the game, Jack Shibley.
So Nicolo looking to better a time of 27.38 unofficially to get in that Fast Four in his course here at the first run. Down to pitch. See Jack. Jack needs to better a time of a 27.48 to make the top 4 on his course. So we take 4 athletes off each course. These throw trouble on the red, down, and off course he will go. So solo finish for Jack, his time with a 27.76, 27.76, just a little bit off the pace. 27.76, not quick enough to knock off Roman Frost, who is in what we call the hot seat with a 27.48.
Yeah, tough luck for Nico Monfort. Just got aggressive, and his spidey senses didn't work for him. So, Nico, get back on that horse, head back up top. You're going to get another chance at it. Let's move on. We're going to go to Norway. Joachim Milde. He is going to be on the red course. And on the blue course, another Norwegian, the eldest.
Great to have all these, athletes from around the world joining the tour. So we've had all kinds of Norwegian champions in the past.
Yeah.
Ove Nygren and the wild man, we called him. We were talking about that with the Norwegians when we were chatting last night. So, international fields here with the World Pro Ski Tour.
Had a chance to talk to Joachim Milde. His first appearance at, they graduated from Westminster College together. And he is excited to be here in golf and mountain biking. He's got a younger brother. He Norwegian national junior champion. That's Joachim Milde, and he'll be on the red course. Tyler Conrad married to Hedda Bernson. Hedda is in our ladies competition in this open division today. Tyler graduated from Middlebury College, also Berkshire East Alpine coach for about 4 years. Lots of information in him. Right now we're going to take a small break. Be right back at you with more qualifying here at Bear Valley for the second stop of the World Pro Ski Tour. Attention, attention. Nico. It appears we've got a loading event. That's right, the name of the storm coming in, 2 to 3 feet expected by Monday. But right now it's all about racing here at the second stop of the World Pro Ski Tour. Kevin Clark alongside Uncle E here. And we're doing qualifying for the guys. Weather's picking up. That means the heat and the action of the racing is going to pick up all day long, too. We're setting the stage for a couple Norwegians right now to lay down their first timed run of 2. Tyler Conrad is on the blue course, left-hand side looking up. The 45-year-old with a whole bunch of racing and life experience takes a deep breath. Over on the right-hand side from Bergen, Norway, Joachim Mjelde. He's on the red course. Cameras are focused. Our starter, Kevin Keeley, is ready to lock and load him and send him.
So let's see how these rookies deal with the start doors. Once again, so crucial to come out as soon as that light goes green. If you come up too early, we've seen a couple athletes get stopped by the doors. So it looks like a good clean start. Red really getting it timed well coming out. Melde looking clean and smooth at the top of the course, heading for the first jump. And it's Conrad over on the blue side, riding those tails hard, landed on the tails of his skis right on top of the knuckle. But it's all about Joachim Milde right now on the red course side. Again, they're racing the clock to get into the qualifying. Oh, trouble on the blue course side. Down he goes. Conrad out. It's going to be Joachim at the finish line. Solo. Let's take a look at his time. 28.33. 28.33 is not quick enough to knock the 27.38 out of your fourth fastest qualifier. David Ketterer with a 27.38. That's the time to beat on the red.
Let's take a peek.
DQing on the blue side.
Yeah, we'll take a peek back up and see where it went south. Maybe we won't. But for Tyler Conrad, he just a snow snake grabbed him and threw him. And we shift our sights up to the top for our final two. It's going to be J.D. Shockey. Shock factor is high. He will be on the blue course. And on the red course, Alex Puente Tacias from España. He lives in Vielha. He says it's the best town in the world. And then he got to Bear Valley and said, wait, this place is even better.
Sure, no skiing like that there. So, Alex on the red course side, J.D. Shockey on the blue. Out on track they come, pretty even. Good clean turns at the top of the turn there on that red side. The Spaniard looking good. Yeah. Really letting it rip here. Good touchdown. Lost an athlete on the blue course side. There comes J.D. Shockey now. It's all about Sace.
Yep, AP Tacias. Oh,
too straight.
Right when you said it was all about him, he got a little ahead of himself and got too straight. But right now, finishing things off, tortoise in the hairstyle, J.D. Shockey makes it across, gets a nice little pop off the air, and he's across the finish line. Speed time, Clark, he is.
So Shockey with a 35.45. So 35.45 for Shockey. That ends the first run for the men's qualifying portion. They'll go back to the top. The ladies should be up there ready to go for their second run here. Erin Milzinski topping the charts with a 28.29 is moved over to the blue course side. And then it was Caitlin Harsh who was quickest on that blue on her first run with a 29.04. She now moves behind the start doors on the red side. Both these ladies have qualified, but right now they are battling for that speed run winner, so picking up points. So the fastest combined time picks you up 5 points, second, third, and third 1 point. So those can come down to tiebreakers at the end of the season. So important to ski both courses, get the feel for the jumps. They can vary from side to side. So you can be sure that Milzinski and Harsh are going to battle hard for that combined time.
We're going to take a short break. Be right back. Enjoy the snowfall. This is the second stop of 3 here at Bear Valley. We'll be back in just a minute with the women's second round of qualifying. Stick with us.
So, John, on one, you always want me to start with blue, or can we mix it up and go red, then blue?
We are gearing up, and welcome back to Bear Valley. And we are picking things up. The ladies will now get another opportunity to lay it down and go a little faster than they did previously, swapping courses. That is Caitlin Harsh. She's on the red side this time. Erin Milzinski, 4-time Olympian and defending champion of this tour last year. And she took 1 of 2 victories over in Aspen in the first stop. Milzinski will be on the blue course.
All right, here the course has been cleared. For the second run for the women, Erin Milzinski in the field with the fastest time of the day on the red course of the women, 28.29. And Caitlin Harsh, quickest on the blue. Let's see how these two go As they've switched sides. Harsh with a good clean start. Milzinski right there with her down the pitch. Looked like Harsh got a little bit of a jump, but again, we're racing the clock. Milzinski was fastest on the red this time. Harsh would like to show her that she can be quick, but here comes Milzinski. Blows by over the first jump. The Canadian out in front, your defending tour champion. Again, her first run time, 28.29 on the red course side. Let's